What's up, everybody? Peter McKinnon here. Welcome back to yet another 2-Minute Tuesday. It's so great to have you here and see all of your smiling faces. I haven't posted in a week. What? Pete, where have you been, man? What is going on? We were worried about you. You posted like a 30-second video on Twitter of you playing the drums, which got like 200,000 views, by the way. It was just insane. I didn't even know tweets could do that. What? Follow me on Twitter if you don't already. We'll have some fun. Last week, we talked about photos with the theme of isolation. You guys came out swinging. You came out with some epic photos, some great contributions to the new format photo assignments. Checking in on that hashtag over the last few days for the latest theme that is contrast, which we will be reviewing today, and then giving you a new theme for this week to be reviewed next week at the end of the video. It's so hard to choose based off how many awesome photos that I get to see looking through this hashtag. So I'm having a great time. Hope you're having a great time. And again, for everyone that participates, thank you. If you see one of these photos that you like on screen, go to that person's account, tell them you found them on PM Photo Assignments, make their day, drop them a like. Let's get into photo number 1. Do I save my favorite for last, or do I just come out with my favorite? Because there's a lot. Let's kick things off with my favorite one. I think this is my favorite one by the user named VeryCat. Here's the shot. Whew. Wow. Caption is what real contrast looks like. And then if you swipe left, you'll get another version of another portrait. And it's just very real. It hits home right now, doesn't it? You're probably thinking the same thing I am. You see that photo and you just think, wow, like before and after, almost like pre-pandemic to now, what life is like. Or maybe this person is a nurse and that's what she looks like now, going through all the hardships that all these professionals are going through at the moment. It is absolute contrast. It is perfect. If I was a teacher, A+++, you're going to the next grade. Just leave this classroom and go to the next grade. Fantastic, well done. Okay, moving on to number 2. This one was great. I've thoroughly enjoyed this one because everyone sees these themes differently, right? Everyone expresses their art differently. This right here by the username of Funk Drone. What a great name. Is this dude painting yellow with bananas? It's just so fun and it's so contrasted, and I saw a lot of people using color and light to portray contrast with pops of color or pops of light here and there. This is that, but it's also done in a very creative way where you're just painting banana onto this red backdrop, which I love. It's simple, but it's cute and creative, and Funk Drone is so fun to say. Say it right now, pause. Say it, Funk Drone. You're laughing with me, wait. See? We're in sync. Funk Drone. Thank you. Next up, we have a photo from someone by the name of the Delusional Kid, which looks to be some sort of letter or paper burning, but the contrast would be that it is burning in what looks like a puddle or some sort of water. So you get the contrast of fire and water. How does something burn in water? It's good because it's contrast as far as the image visually, fired against this kind of like muted background, but it's also a contrast as far as the elements work and science. Well done. Maybe it's the leather crafter in me, but this next shot by Stray Wanderer from India with this beautifully bright orange contrasted thread to the black background and the sewing needle going through the eye of the needle there. It was nice. It was crisp and juicy, and I liked it. This would be contrast in more of a visual manner, like I was saying earlier. Less of like a conceptual message, more of just like a visual orange, black, and a sewing needle. This next one here by Rich Diekoff. That sounds right. I had to include this one by Rich Diekoff because coffee and then just tossing that green M&M in there, it's just wildly contrasted. It's just very bright, very arrogant. This could also technically fit the theme of isolation if you really wanted to go back to that one. So it's kind of like a double hitter. It works for both. I saw coffee and my eyes immediately saw the green M&M and I was like, huh. That's contrast. So I had to include it because I was just drawn right to it, given that stark contrast. Next up, we have something kind of similar, but it's a portrait from a photographer by the name of Kazim Giri. A really nice portrait of this girl here, but what I love about it is the black background just feels so matted and blends into her sweater with that stark white wall, but her face is like perfectly lit and it's perfectly contrasted to the white wall, but it also matches the art behind. Yeah, it's just like a really well composed, like fine art looking portrait. So Great photography, matches the theme, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. So good job. Double tap. All right, next up we have a photo here from Scratchbook. And it is the contrast of a landscape, but not so much so in the way where like a sunset in the background, but it's very dark in the foreground, which is more of like what I did for this week's challenge. It's kind of showing like agriculture change from like the left side being what looks like just dead, no life there. Then on the right side, it's just nice and green and lush. And it's a stark contrast on either side of this road. I mean, it could mean many things. If you were someone that's into art and you wanted to try to dig deep into this photo, if you saw it hanging in a gallery and you thought, maybe that signifies something or that tells a message between what's available to some people and not to others when the proximity is so close. Could be something like that, and I liked it for that reason. Great photo, really liked it. Shows a clear divide, could mean many things. Well done. All right, before we head into our next few banger photos from the photo submissions, we need to take a moment to thank our sponsor for this episode, which is none other than Skillshare. Now, if you don't know what Skillshare is, literally, like listen to me right here, listen. You're living under a rock. You've either never owned a mobile device or been on the internet. Skillshare is massively popular and it's amazing, especially when you have some extra downtime and you're at your house wondering what you can do. You can learn things. You can literally learn anything. We're talking photography, filmmaking. You want to learn specifics about filmmaking and audio and different types of editors, or you want to learn how to cook or different reading and writing applications. There's an abundance and it's right there for the taking. Seriously. Like, actually think about all the knowledge that's right there at your fingertips. I think probably one of my favorite courses that I've seen so far that I also would recommend to you is Chris Burkhard's, amazing photographer, has a course on outdoor photography with a smartphone. So it's super accessible and I love it for that reason because everyone's got a phone. My buddy Yoon Olson also has a photo course on there. We're talking Brandon Wolfel, a friend of mine, another brilliant photographer, all these people that have courses online that you can go take advantage of right now. That whole site is made for learning. There's no ads on it like this. And they're always launching new premium courses for less than 10 bucks a month. All right, so the first 1,000 people, the first 1,000 subscribers that rush down to the description below right now will get 2 months free of a premium subscription. So you can get on there and learn as much as possible in 2 months. As they'd like to say, explore that creativity. Highly recommend it. You know, I had to bring this guy back for a second round just because he smashed it out of the park twice. Local Canadian, I'm like Quebec City, but like Manu Coveney, the dude with like the Grim Reaper scythe in the street. Look at this. Life and death, make the best of it, stay home. Totally accurate, massively contrasted, like life and death. Doesn't get more contrasted than that. Popped up in the feed and I was like, whew. Clicked on that, I was like, it's our boy, he's back. So it's a creepy photo. It would be creepy editing this in Photoshop, being punched in like 300%, working with those gnarly teeth there. Are you coming back for a third time next week? Are we getting the hat trick? The PM photo assignment, triple crown? Triple threat? Next up, we got a photo from Practical Theory. This looks like a dandelion, perfectly contrasted. It looks like it was done in post, but it popped out. Again, it popped, it looked good. I liked the grade. I liked the tone, if you will. Caption says, here's contrast. And yes, you were correct. There it is. So it doesn't necessarily say anything to me. It doesn't necessarily make me think of anything other than the subject that is contrast. But I mean, that's the challenge. That's the photo assignment. And it popped out enough to me to click on it. The way you've colored this photo, it's nice, it's pretty. It's soft, it's dark, it's kind of aggressive, but it's not at the same time. I don't know, I really liked it. I think what also makes me really like it is the accessibility that it has. Like there's dandelions everywhere. We walk over them, we walk on top of them all the time in the summer. Like there's things all over the place that we just never stop to even care about. These things are everywhere. But do we ever really stop to smell the roses? You know, that's a saying for a reason. Got deep there for a second. Thanks, Practical Theory, for your practical theory. So my photo submission is a landscape. I don't even think it's nearly as good as any of yours. Here's the shot. Full disclosure, I photoshopped this heavily. You see, I was working with a photo in Photoshop. It was like midnight. I was talking to a friend on iMessage, had my AirPods in, noise canceled, was just feeling the groove, right? Was editing this photo and I thought, hey, this might work well for that contrast shot for next week's photo assignment. So I actually Photoshopped in the background and added all these nice kind of light hits to give those contrast strips in the front, which I thought contrasted from the front to the back. I basically fabricated depth, right? From close to far away. And that was my take on contrast. If you like this photo, you actually want to see the whole behind the scenes process of how I did this, because the raw photo, it doesn't look like that at all. I figured I might make a Photoshop tutorial on how I did that because there's a few cool little tips and tricks along the way. If you want to see that, hit the like button and let me know below. Maybe I'll make that video for later this week. But that was my submission for contrast. All right, next week's theme for photo assignment that we will be reviewing next week, you'll be shooting this week. The theme is red. The theme is red. R-E-D. Red. What does that mean? How do you interpret that? How do you shoot that? What? What does that look like? I know the PM photo assignments hashtag is gonna look a certain color in the coming days. If you want to take part in this challenge, you want to participate yourself, use hashtag PM photo assignments on Instagram. If you post them on Twitter, I might see them. I don't typically look for photos as much on Twitter, so I would encourage you to use the hashtag on Instagram. Guys, thanks so much. Hit the like button if you like this video. Smash it if that's something that you're into, 2020 style. Subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you in the next episode. See ya. Oh, we didn't do the honorable mentions. You can't have a photo assignment without honorable mentions. Come on. Today's honorable mention for photo assignment contrast is none other than Sam the Minuteman. Sam has this beautiful photo of this brick wall sitting in the very bottom right corner wearing a mask, as you should be right now. And the wall is just split perfectly down the middle with a shadow, like perfect. Looks amazing. Super contrast. Sam the Minuteman. You know, that gives Funk Drone a run for his money. I said it.